Had to get some coffee. It's a tiny cup. It's a nice coffee. It's pretty good. I'm going to talk today about breaking through your creative slumps, like your creative roadblocks. And I'm only going to talk from personal experience. So I hope something that I say helps you get through your personal ruts. I am a pretty creative person. However, in this past season of life, I have had a really difficult time finding creative outlets. And in fact, this YouTube journey is going to be something of a creative outlet for me. But I have had such a hard time moving forward because I don't believe in myself sometimes. I think it's too hard. I'm too busy. I'm all these different excuses that I'll make up for myself, but it's all garbage. It's all not real. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I do. So first off, I read this book on a regular basis, The War of Art. Man, I tell you what, it is so good. It's broken up into 3 parts, and honestly, in my personal opinion, the first 2 parts are the best. But he talks about this thing called resistance, and it's been around on the YouTube vibe for a while now, but I got this book years and years and years ago. And it talks about resistance, and it's this invisible, you can't taste it, you can't touch it, you can't see it, but it's this force that keeps you from doing the creative thing that you love. And so, we as creatives are always in a constant state of fighting against resistance. And in this book, he talks about the difference between the amateur and the pro. The amateur loves the idea of doing things. The amateur loves the idea of doing big, grandiose things. But the professional, the pro, shows up day after day, moment after moment, when it's hard, when it's easy, when it's good, when it's bad, when it makes sense, and when it doesn't make sense. And that is why I think this book speaks to me the most, because it gets me out of a perfect world scenario where I can have unlimited time, resources, and energy. And it puts me in the space of I am in this for the long haul and I am in this to win it. And so the War of Art really is just a great way to push back on the excuses that you make and the reasons why you can't do something. So that's this book here. Next up is this book I received from a friend on my birthday, and it is The Creative Act, A Way of Being. It is a solid book. The best artists tend to be the ones with the most sensitive antenna to draw in the energy resonating at a particular moment. Many great artists first develop sensitive antenna not to create art, but to protect themselves. They have to protect themselves because everything hurts more. They feel everything more deeply. And honestly, just reading that hits with me. I've always been a much more sensitive person, and I've had to learn to grow tough skin, but it really is, I didn't realize it when I was growing up, but it really is attached to the fact that I am a creative person. And so he just dives into that, man. It's good for the soul to read stuff like that. Okay, lastly, it's not something you read, but something you do. And we've all done it before, I'm sure. But I just want to encourage you to get back into it, is to get a really good pen and a notebook and to remember to journal. So journaling is incredibly important for the creative person in getting out of the creative rut, because you can see the same painting day after day, the same landscape, or the same movie, and you can pull different things out of them. And writing is one of the best ways to escape that creative rut. I have been journaling a lot more this year, and it has changed my life. It has literally gotten me out of just always consuming, and writing in and of itself is a creative process. It's not only lethargic, but you're actually bringing something into the world with every stroke of the pen. And I, for sure, I used to be an iPad guy, but man, it is not the same of having a digital device, but letting go of that and being able to sit in a room with no digital device and just writing your thoughts down will help you break free from that creative rut. So to recap, I just want to encourage you to check out The War of Art if you have not already, or a reminder to go back to it if you already have it and read it. And secondly, The Creative Act, A Way of Being. Just be a creative person. It is so good. And to journal your thoughts. My final thoughts on, I don't know why this keeps my final thoughts on this topic is to just keep showing up every day. I don't know what you're trying to write. I don't know what you're trying to create. I don't know who you're trying to be, but I want to encourage you to pursue that with your whole heart. Pursue it with everything you've got. Pursue it like your life depends on it, because we're missing out on something that you're not doing. And so we need you to commit to what it is that you're creating, because we want the world to be a better place. All right. Thanks. That's it. Have a good day.